What if I told you two states are using maps like power plays, drawing lines not for fairness but for political survival? Every 10 years after the census, states redraw their congressional and legislative districts. Ideally, this just reflects population changes, but often politicians draw the maps to favor themselves or their party. That's called gerrymandering. And yes, it's happening right now in Texas, California, and pretty much everywhere else. Look at California. The maps have shifted in ways that could affect your representation for a decade. And then there's Texas, where redistricting fights are so intense that lawmakers have actually walked out to prevent votes. Even Governor Gavin Newsom is tweeting like he's trying to be Trump-level provocative about maps. It's wild, but it's also important to understand. Before we dive in, please do me a big favor and hit like and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm and helps get my message out there. This episode is brought to you in partnership with Ground News. Ground News lets you see how different media outlets cover the same story, helping you spot bias and get the full picture. I only partner with brands that align with For Love and Justice's mission, and Ground News is a perfect fit. Informed, intentional, and rooted in critical thinking. Sign up today and start seeing the news differently. I also want to say that unlike other outlets, I don't hide information behind a paywall. I break down the news and politics for free. No corporate sponsors, no foreign donors, no one pays me to talk. In fact, no one even asked me to. I'm here because I care and because making sense of all this stuff shouldn't cost you a dime. You can support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in that. So what is gerrymandering? It's basically when politicians draw voting district lines in a way that gives their party an unfair advantage. Basically, they cheat the map so they can win more elections, even if most people vote the other way. Why does it matter? Because even slight changes can shift power significantly. One party can win more seats with fewer votes, essentially. Why does it matter to you personally? Because your congressional district might change and you might not get the representation you thought you had. So let's break down what's going on in Texas. The Texas Senate approved a new map mid-census. Keep in mind, we are in the year 2025. Census happens every 10 years. So mid-decade, the Texas Senate approved a new map and the House stalled due to a Democratic walkout. Democratic representatives literally left the state and faced getting arrested. On August 20th, the Texas House passed the mid-decade redistricting plan. The vote was 88 to 52 after a 2-week walkout aimed at blocking quorum. Then on August 22nd, the Texas Senate approved the map 18 to 11, forwarding it to Governor Abbott. The proposed map is designed to dismantle Democratic strongholds in cities like Austin, Houston, Dallas, and South Texas with the goal of adding 5 GOP-leaning congressional seats. As you can see here with this little map, wherever I put it, Austin, Houston, Dallas, and South Texas have turned into itty-bitty tiny little blue dots, even though they make up the majority of the state's economy. And in turn, Democrats have vowed litigation alleging Voting Rights Act violations and racial discrimination. So what's at stake? We know Republicans are aiming to secure up to 5 additional U.S. House seats. Critics claim the plan targets Latino, Black, and Asian voters, diluting their influence. Now let's switch gears to California, because basically what's happening in California is retaliation against what is happening in Texas. It is tit for tat. So Newsom has proposed the Election Rigging Response Act, which would temporarily pause the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission and lets the legislature redraw maps through 2030. This includes a constitutional amendment for a November 4th special election ballot, and Proposition 50 would suspend the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission's map and replace it with a Democratic favoring map for 2026 to 2030. The California Supreme Court denied a Republican-led attempt to halt the special election, clearing the way for the vote. So the goal here, whereas in Texas it's for the GOP to gain 5 seats, the goal here is for Democrats to grab 5 Republican-held seats, which could boost Democrats from 34 to 40... 34. Sorry. Which could boost Democrats from 43 to 48 out of 52 seats. And who better to comment on this than the governor, the former governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger? He is not happy with what's going on. He was the former governor of California, and he says this is not a battle between Democrats and Republicans. This is a battle between politicians and the people. And I have to say, I concur, Governor. Because the people in power are going to do what they need to do to stay in power. So this is not between Republicans versus Democrats. This is between the people and their representatives and whether or not they're actually representing us. Now let's break down Gavin Newsom's tweets, his Twitter behavior, shall we? It is reminiscent of Trump and his Truth Social posts and his Twitter posts before he had Truth Social. So Newsom said it was time to play hardball in defense of democracy, and he has framed the move as a Democratic defense against Trump's rigging of the midterms. His press office began tweeting in all caps, echoing Trump's trademark tone. And this has drawn a lot of criticism. A lot of people, a lot of talking heads are saying that Gavin Newsom is not presidential material because he talks like this and because he's mocking Trump. And I think it's good to make a distinction here that he is not acting like Trump because that's his style. He is trying to hold up a mirror to show us if this is an acceptable behavior for him, why is it acceptable behavior for Trump? So Gavin Newsom said, I hope it's a wake-up call for the President of the United States. I'm sort of following his example. If you've got issues with what I'm putting out, you sure as hell should have concerns about what he's putting out as president. I think the deeper question is how we have allowed the normalization of his tweets, Truth Social posts, over the course of the last many years to go without similar scrutiny and notice. And he's not wrong. It's been a whole decade, guys. He started this in 2015. I'm tired. We're in 2025. So here are a couple of sample tweets from Gavin Newsom. Stand down now or California will counterstrike legally to destroy your illegal crooked maps in red states. Donald is finished. He is no longer hot. First the hand, so tiny, and now me, Gavin C. Newsom, have taken away his step. Many are saying he can't even do the big stairs on Air Force One anymore. He uses the little baby stairs now. This is a direct full circle moment for when Trump said that Taylor Swift was no longer hot. Doesn't feel good, does it? So this is political theater. Yes, of course, it's political theater, but it doubles as a protest. It is a signal that California is not going to stay quiet. They're not going down without a fight. So final thoughts, redistricting should be a reflection of people, not power. But right now, maps are shaping politics like curfews shaping protests. So let's watch every boundary shift because that's how democracy gets redrawn. Now, between gerrymandering, redistricting, maps that look like drunk snakes, you might think there's nothing I can do. But actually, you can do a lot. You can track your state's redistricting proposals. Public comments increasingly matter. Attend hearings virtually or in person and submit feedback. Vote in every election, not just federal, but down ballot races that shape redistricting. Support watchdog groups like Brennan Center, Common Cause, and the League of Women Voters. And share maps and explain the stakes. Awareness drives accountability. So let's really put the heat on them, guys. Make calls to your senators, your representatives, send emails, comment on public posts, make your voice heard. Okay, guys, that's the show. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.